Welcome to Dose with Grace. I hope you're doing well and taking very good care of yourself. We were doing a series of 5 Sanskrit mantras. They are very powerful root words that have a transformative power when we sit, reflect upon it, and then apply it in our lives. Learning something, understanding something has its own value, but its value lies in bringing ourselves to a point where we actually start embodying it into our lives. So I hope the first 3 words, which were Shraddha, Abhyas, and Vairagya, have been now embodiment of your life. And if you haven't yet seen those words and their meaning and their application, you can go back to the previous videos. The first one was on Shraddha, the second one was on Abhyas, and the third one was on Vairagya. Today we will do the fourth one, and it is Santosh. Santosh. It is, I know it is a very common word we use, but we rarely understand the power that it carries in transforming the way we live, the way we look at things, and the way we conduct ourselves. It has always been a comparison culture. It is not just today. It has always been a comparison culture. Always seeing who you are from the eyes of where you are in comparison to others has been a very defeating way of living from forever. And this is such a deep-rooted belief within our environment that even when a newborn child is there, we say, oh, this child is so fair, fairer than its sibling. So it's such a culture that is surrounding us that we do not even realize actively or consciously that we are being fed this comparison culture. Hence, Santosh is such a far-fetched understanding, or rather even a far-fetched word that is used in our vocabulary. But it is a very, very, very powerful, one of the top 5 powerful mantras that our life should be based upon. Santosh is having a sense of serenity. I don't know what is the direct, meaning I can give in English. It is not satisfaction. Satisfaction is something you get out of something. When we do something, we get satisfied. But how long that satisfaction lasts? Then we want to do that again, and probably at a higher intensity. So satisfaction is not the right word to explain Santosh. Probably serenity is a slightly higher dimension word to explain, because like I said, these words may sound very simple, but they are called mantras because they take your mind directly to the level. If you really meditate on them or keep them in your mind, use them in your vocabulary again and again and again and again, you will see the transformative power it brings in your consciousness, and hence in your awareness. First, the transformation has to enter your awareness, even if it is in your subconscious. but it will start showing in your conscious behavior. So it is just the opposite of comparison culture. The culture that we are living in, and we think that that is a perfect culture to thrive. No, it isn't. It is training your mind to feel enoughness, to find enoughness. It's Santosh is training your mind to find enoughness here and now. Not tomorrow and not in some place, but here and now. Please listen very carefully to these well-crafted words. Santosh is training your mind, not your brain, not your logic, your mind. The place from where all your logic originates, the place from where all your feelings originate, your emotions. It's a much deeper and higher dimension than just brain, which only processes knowledge. It is something where your memories are, where your belief systems are. So it is training your mind to find enoughness. It's already there, but to find it here and now. Here the keywords are training. So it is possible, even if right now you don't feel Santosh, you can find Santosh. It is training your mind. Training mind to find enoughness here and now. It is not something distant, not in a distant future, not even in tomorrow, not even by the evening, right now. And not by going to some pilgrimage, not by going to some place which is in woods where there is no one. Now, here, even if you're sitting within your family, sitting among your peers, sitting among your opponents, sitting among people who do not appreciate you or don't see that you're enough. Finding enoughness here and now. So it is not about settling, but finding serenity in the present moment. It's not about settling. Suppose you're going through something right now and you feel that, oh, so should I settle for this and say, okay, maybe this is my fate. Suppose you're in working in office and you work really hard, you give your best, and you're very ethical, you morally finish everything that is committed, you meet your commitments, and you do your work well. But at the time of your analysis, at the time of your appraisal, you're always you're not given, you feel that you're not given your due. Now, does Santosh mean you should settle for it? Not really. But it means finding serenity in the present moment. You may work towards confirming, or rather convincing, your boss that here are the projects that I've finished well in time, here are the deadlines that I've met, here are the areas where I have met my KRAs and I have rather overachieved what was committed. So you make those efforts. You do in what you say, vyavaharik way, in the material world, you do work towards what is required, but in your mind you have the serenity. That is called Santosh. It is not the state of your doing, it is a state of your being. And when you are at that state of being all the time, or you bring yourself back to that state of being whenever you're ruffled out of it, that is a very, very powerful state to be in. And trust me, it is not theoretical, it is practical. Imagine you're in a situation where there is a chaos. You have missed your bus, you have missed your flight, or you've missed your tram. And instead of settling down and finding peace within yourself, deep down, you start yelling, crying, or just running from here to there. You are only wasting your time. You're only wasting your efforts. You're only making sure that your mind is so clouded with these feelings and these emotions that you really, really can't operate from your highest potential. On the other side, if you sit down and, of course, for the moment that you are so ruffled, you give yourself that sense of peace. You give yourself that sense of serenity, that Santosh. Here and now. Now your mind is slightly working on a very calm manner. You can think of 10 possibilities. You can think of going back on ticket counter and asking if the same ticket can be used for the same day. In many countries, it's very possible that you can use the same ticket for the next tram or for the next flight or for the next ride in the bus, because the ticket can be held for the whole day. Or can you be adjusted into the next one? Or is there a discount that you can get? Or in worst case possible, just get up and take the next easiest, the most closest ride and the most safest. So all that can happen only if you are having a sense of serenity, sense of enoughness, that whatever I have in terms of my resources, in terms of my possibilities, is enough. Even in this situation, here it is not about money, but it is about my possibilities of reaching somewhere. But what I have is enough. The moment we feel this way, the moment we train our mind this way, we are able to take better decisions. If even in such a trivial situation, this can give such good results, imagine if in bigger things in life, if we think what money I have is enough, this whole running crazy after making money through any bad, good, or evil sources will stop. If we think that the love I have in my life from my husband and my wife is enough, then all this, extramarital affairs, looking around for the love outside, having illicit relationships will all end. If you feel that my family is enough source of enrichment and care and support to me, then going off and making alliances out of greed, being bad to your family and trying to make overcompensating for people on the outside will reduce. You look at it from one sense of enoughness, so much of extra gamut of wrongdoings can end. And today we are witnessing all of that in splurge everywhere. The moment we look at someone, showing that they are happy, they may not necessarily be, but they're showing they're very happy, we just want to match up to that and want to go do at any cost to have that instant gratification. But instead, if we thought, what I have, I'm happy and enough, it's enough for me. By the virtue of that serenity within us, we will be able to make what we have even better, even more happier, even more prosperous. A very, very a moral behavior that comes through this sense of enoughness is what we are lacking in our society today. Today, every now and then we hear or we see around us the episodes of people looking out for appreciation, validation from others, and in most immoral ways. Just to get that extra smile, just to get that extra, uh, you know, um, attention. Both men and women are ruining their families. Similarly, that culture is now getting passed on to the children, the next generation, which are finding that instant gratification out of making this new culture of boyfriend break up, girlfriend break up. This is the opposite of Santosh. This is coming from this sense of lack, which comes from this comparison culture. You have it, so I must have it too. Not realizing, even looking deep into what they have, is it really even worthy? But Santosh, as a mantra of our life, holds such potency and power in transforming the very root of this pain in the society that we have, where we always want to move up, regardless of what that up means. Not valuing what we have, not treasuring what we have, not taking care of, not nourishing what we have, and rather throwing it away, which was beautifully given to us, and running after something which sounds or looks very lucrative. That comes from this sense of comparison culture. And Santosh is a perfect vaccination, antidote for cutting that off, getting us rid of that virus of comparison culture, and rooting us into a very powerful and very potent energy of serenity here and now. Imagine a person who's rooted into Santosh, whose foundation of life is Santosh, enoughness in everything, in their own abilities, in their most important thing in these days is the wealth, in the love, in the family that they have, the resources that they have. Look how contented that person would be. And they operate from that serenity. They don't settle. They also work hard. They also work very, very much to achieve higher goals. But it comes from a deep, deep root of serenity. So then there is no action that comes out of greed. There is no emotion that is rooting from lust. And there is no activity or there is no words that are spoken out of anger. Such person is highly powerful in today's world. We can be that powerful once we train our minds to find that enoughness in here and now. Then our heart becomes a temple, and our body, wherever it goes, carries that energy of pilgrimage. I hope all those who are listening, as I practice every day to include this word in my vocabulary, to remind me again and again to go back to the energy of Santosh and train my mind whenever it goes away into different types of doings, to be centered into the being of Santosh, training my mind to find enoughness here and now. With that, thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we will go to our fifth, the most important mantra, the Sanskrit word and the mantra that has extremely high potency and transformative power too. As we progress from Shraddha, you will also see that how the previous word feeds in automatically to the next. Without the Tyag or Vairagya, we cannot reach Santosh. And without Santosh, we cannot reach our next word. You want to know what? Watch the next video coming very soon. Until then, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.